Hey friends, Merry Christmas and welcome to the holiday version of Love in the Time of Quarterbacks. This will be a very short video today because I have been incredibly ill. Don't worry, it's not the big C or the little C or the whatever C you want to call it. It's not COVID, just a really bad sinus infection and a cold on top of it. We all tested negative, so things are good. First thing I want to say, I know it's a really tough time of year for a lot of people, and I know that people who struggle with addictions, be it gambling, alcohol, drugs, many other things, this is a really tough time for them. So if you need help, please reach out. If you don't have anybody you can reach out to, or you don't believe you have anybody to reach out to, you can reach out to me. I, as always, can be found on Twitter at CPT_handsome, or if you get this from my Facebook account, you can PM me, whatever you need. Nobody should feel alone this time of year, because it is a really tough time of year. Or you can feel alone, and most years stuff is open for you to be able to enjoy it. You can go to the movies, have a meal, things like that. But you can't eat at the movie theater right now, so movie theater's kind of out. And I know that it's just a pretty crummy time to be alone and feel that way. So if you're struggling, please don't hesitate to reach out to somebody. And if you don't feel like you have anybody, that somebody can always be me. Just a little preamble. Real quick, last week I only had one official play. It was the Twitter play, the Kansas City 2 units. So we're plus 1.78 and 1-0 on that. On the year, we are 42-28, up 21.14 units. This week I have 3 plays and a teaser. I'm keeping all my sides at 1 unit. The truth is, I actually really like all 3 of these sides, but I'm keeping everything at 1 unit just because COVID scares me. Things can change just like that if one little thing happens. So I'm keeping everything at 1 unit except for the teaser, which I always do at 2 units. So my first play is tomorrow is Indy at Arizona. I'm taking the Indy money line at plus 118. You can get that currently at 5 dimes. I know that Indy's a bit of a square play right now, simply because a lot of the public, saw what they did last weekend and are now starting to believe in them. My issue is that the Arizona run D is just atrocious, and I don't see any way that they're going to be able to slow Indy down or slow, Jonathan Taylor down. So even though I do agree that it's a bit of a square play, I also think that it's the right play. And so, I'm on the Indy money line. Arizona has fallen apart at the end of the year. It's so funny because you heard everybody talking about Kingsbury for Coach of the Year, and now everybody's reminding you that Cliff Kingsbury had a losing record at Texas Tech and he failed his way up. It's just so funny how that narrative changed at the beginning of the year. Everyone's like, oh, Kingsbury, he found his way and blah, 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 blah. And the Arizona Cardinals look amazing. Well, his first season there, they fell apart at the end. I mean, they weren't great anyways. Last year, they really fell apart in the second half. And then this year, they look like they're falling apart again in the second half. So maybe Kingsbury isn't as good once it matters. Anyways, I'm on Indy. If I'm wrong here, I'll admit it, but I really think this is the right side. So Indy money line for plus 118. I am also on the Buffalo money line. They're at New England, as I'm sure everybody knows. It's a big game. And currently get it plus 112 at Pinnacle. Buffalo's a better team. New England won a gimmicky game with a system that suited them perfectly. New England's D is good. Buffalo's D is good. New England's running game is considerably better than Buffalo's, for sure. But Josh Allen is a billion times better than Mac Jones. I don't even think Josh Allen is, a top 5 quarterback. I think he's just outside of that, to be honest. But he's still way better than Mac Jones. Mac Jones is as vanilla as they get. The reason Belichick calls the game the way that he calls it for Mac Jones. That doesn't mean Mac Jones isn't a perfect quarterback for that system. He absolutely is. But he's limited. Josh Allen is only limited by his own mistakes, which have been many at times. And, the Pats are a team that can take advantage of that. I just think it's going to be tough for New England to beat them twice. The one time they did beat them was a gimmicky game, and I think anybody will admit that on a neutral or in a non-gimmicky situation like that, on a non-snowstorm, Buffalo probably smashes them that game. And I think Buffalo probably beats them pretty good this game too. I just think that Buffalo is still a better team than them. I think New England has gotten lucky. They've played well. They're insanely well coached. They have ridden an average quarterback in a perfect situation for him to a great record. I got nothing against Mac Jones. I mean, I think Mac Jones is a lesser Tua, to be honest with you, and I love Tua. But Mac Jones isn't as accurate as him, and I don't think he's as dynamic as him. Not that I think Tua is insanely dynamic. I just think he's more dynamic than Mac Jones, who is, vanilla would call him vanilla. So, Buffalo's not that. They can't run the ball, but they can definitely throw the ball. No Cole Beasley, everybody's worried about that, but I think it's just going to allow Gabe Davis to step up again. And Gabe Davis has looked good in big spots the last few weeks, and everybody knows I'm a huge Gabe Davis fan. So I think that having Gabe Davis in that spot is awesome for the Bills. I think he's a much better receiver than Cole Beasley. He's a different style of receiver. He's not a possession guy like Beasley, but it'll give them a chance to see what he can do. And I think that they're going to have some success there. So I'm all about the Buffalo money line plus 112 at Pinnacle for a unit. The last play is my Miami Dolphins. Initially, I had given out New Orleans -3. This is how much I feel about how much I feel Ian Book is trash. Anybody who watched him at Notre Dame, the guy was not good. His numbers weren't good. He shouldn't have been drafted in the NFL. He's a bad quarterback. And they've also got offensive line issues. Really, they're going to be able to key in so hard on Alvin Kamara that I just don't see how New Orleans is going to score in this game. I'm sure they're going to score. And defensively they could score. Tua can make a mistake. We know that. He did that last week. But I just think that, if Miami gets 13 points, I think they cover the spread because I don't see New Orleans getting more than 10 points in this game. I honestly don't. So, I think Miami -2.5 is a pretty good number right now. You can get it -109 at Pinnacle. Again, I'm playing it for a unit. Anything can happen. That New Orleans defense is very, very good. They could have 2 pick sixes off of Tua. It's very possible. And that's not saying anything about Tua. I love Tua. But that New Orleans defense is very, very good. Tua's still young. He's still prone to making silly mistakes when he's about to get sacked. He's still thrown a few dumb picks like that. He's done that. He's been baited into making a few bad throws. He's a young quarterback. That happens. So do I think that's out of the realm of possibility? No. But I think the most realistic thing is that New Orleans struggles to get to 10. And Miami needs 13 points to cover then. I don't see any issue with that. So I like Miami -2.5 there for a unit. My teaser this week will be 2 plays I've already told you. I've got moving Buffalo to, it's a 7-point teaser. I'm moving Buffalo to +9.5 and Indy to +9. The third part of the teaser for me is Tampa, moving them down from 10 to -3. I was hoping this is going to go down to 9.5 because it's juiced to Carolina, but it hasn't gone to 9.5 yet. If you can get it at 9.5, even better, because then you can move it to 2.5. I don't love getting stuck on the 3, but Cam Newton is the starter. I know Sam Darnold is ready to come back, and he might get some play when Cam throws 3 picks in the first 3 throws he makes. But Cam's been bad. Last week, the only reason he did okay fantasy-wise, but he still lost heavily. Cam's bad. I wish he wasn't. I traded for him, and after having him for years and letting him go last year, I traded for him this year because I needed a quarterback, because Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was supposed to be my 2 quarterback in a 2 quarterback league, obviously was hurt all year. So once Cam came back, I traded for him, and he ended up being trash for me. So he is trash. Sam Darnold's trash. Tampa just got shut out. They're going to be angry. Tom obviously is angry. He's swearing at other teams' coaches, showing what a classy guy he is. That's just a dig on. The truth is, I don't hate that. It shows you how competitive he is and how much he wants to win and how angry he is. And honestly, if if my team wants to win and one of the guys on my team wants to act like that when they don't win, if they're winners and they do that when they lose, I'm fine with that. You can't be a crybaby all the time, but sometimes it's good to show that you care that much about winning. So I just like to take digs at Brady, but as far as that stuff, no beef there at all, man. If I'm a Bucs fan, I'm saying, yeah, I'm glad he's angry. I want him to be angry. He should be embarrassed by that, and he should be angry. So anyways, Tampa -3 is my third play there for 2 units. Go over the plays. Buffalo moneyline +112, currently at Pinnacle for a unit. Indy moneyline +118, currently at 5 dimes for a unit. Miami -2.5, -109 at Penny for a unit. And a 7-point teaser with Buffalo to 9.5, Indy to 9, and Tampa Bay to -3 for 2 units. As always, guys, make sure you are gambling smart. Make sure you're not gambling money you can't afford to lose. And otherwise, guys, I just hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, and you feel loved, and you feel safe. And that's about it, guys. Be well, stay safe.